this is quite a creative animation in how it builds the story of Anne Frank into modern day immigration as well, and also bringing Kitty to life. What was it about this story that spoke to you the most to make you want to be involved in it?
Yeah, I think like you said, like how it speaks on modern day immigration. It draws the parallels between like past and past and present. Yeah, it's reframing like the past. It's talking about now. It's not comparing them. It's showing that there's still many people like fleeing war zones and in war zones. Like, so I think that was like a really important part of what drew me to the project. But also, talking about history and telling the truth about history is always going to be important. And it's always going to remain relevant. And I think telling the story of such a powerful young woman as well.
Yeah, it can be quite emotional in parts, which actually got me, especially for like Kitty's part of the story. But because Kitty had so many same traits as Anne, were there any discussions with the director on how her voice would be, or was it easier to give her your own personal touch?
Yeah, I think there was a constant dialogue between Ari and the actors, and it was really important, for me and for him as well, like finding the voice of Kitty. She's parts of Anne. She's an amalgamation of Anne and all the things that Anne felt she couldn't be. Kitty is these people that Anne looked up to, like Greta Garbo and other people that she had like stuck on her wall in the secret annex. So I would listen. Like, I listened to Emily Carey who played Anne. I listened to her Anne and the rhythm and like intonation in her voice, and I took that on as inspiration, because obviously Kitty is Anne, but also I went away and did my own research on these people that Kitty loved, and also constantly was talking to Arian, dialect coach, as well, about how the uniqueness of her voice, and how softly she talks, or how punchy she is with her words.
Okay, and also being an animation, it's quite creative, especially with how she's brought to life. And the creativity obviously brings the two topics together, and it's very well done. Do you think that this kind of story could only work via an animation?
Well, I think previous projects have shown that you can tell Anne's story, like Anne and her family's life, many different forms, whether that be through animation or live action. But I think this story, whereas Anne Frank, this film is so powerful because it's an animation and it goes beyond the realms of what real life action can do. When we have these flashbacks where we see Anne as she's telling her point of view on things, talking about the boys and how much they fancy me, it's Ari finds like the light in these situations, through the funny parts of the animation and the visuals. These are Anne's words, so all he's doing is bringing her imagination onto the screen and giving it that visual. I think the way the visuals are so powerful, and how the Nazis are shown as well, is beholden to like our imagination, and it very much puts that on screen. So yeah, I think this story could be told is most powerful in an animation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to give away the ending, but I was quite heartbroken by how the story ends, which was quite different. There's no happily ever after there. I mean, what was the most poignant moment for you doing, like, voicing this character?
And her diary is open-ended. Her life and her family's life, like, ended tragically, and in this the abhorrent innocent persecution. And I think because it's open-ended, lots of people want to know what happened afterwards and her point of view on this, and the film is reflected in the same way. How, well, I don't want to give it away either, but like how because of Kitty's, like how the ending is for her, and I think it sticks truthful to Anne, and that's what I found like really poignant and touching.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank